how's it going? It's me, Aman, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are looking at the most messed up bridezillas. Let's get into it. I was a junior bridesmaid for a cousin's wedding. She told my mum that I had to wear pearl earrings for the ceremony. My mum told her I could wear clip-ons, but she insisted that I wear actual earrings or I couldn't be at the wedding. So my mum got my ears pierced. The wedding came around and my hair was styled down, so you couldn't see my ears anyway. I was a few weeks shy of when I could safely change my earrings, but we tried anyway. Unfortunately, my mum couldn't get them out and my ears started to bleed. So I walked down the aisle with diamond starter studs and my cousin never even noticed. In the end, it didn't really matter. She cheated on her husband and was divorced within 6 months. Jeez, that took a wild turn. I was not expecting any of that. Oh my god, there is so much to unpack here. And this is the first post. Starting off with the earrings. If you wore clip-ons, don't think anyone would have noticed, and I'm pretty sure no one would have cared either, to be fair, because if you hadn't had your ears pierced, and to be honest, they seem like they hurt if you had them done at like later age. I had mine done when I was like a child, so I barely remember the pain, but obviously as you grow older, like your pain threshold is quite low. Well, you know, it differs from person to person. But for her to even try and insist that you wear real pearl earrings, that's just bizarre, because as you said, if you had your hair down and no one saw it, not even the bride saw it, and considering that she was the one who wanted you to wear them, then I don't see what the issue was. But the fact that she cheated on her husband within 6 months into the marriage, that's just mad. That is brutal. All of that planning and the money that goes into, you know, getting married and having a wedding, it's expensive. But for it to last 6 months, you know what? That's just icing on top of the cake, or cherry on top of the cake, or whatever the saying is. That bridezilla deserved that, okay? She is a... My best friend from high school was getting married and asked me to be a bridesmaid. Everything was going well until we had to pick out bridesmaid dresses. I was the only plus size person out of the 4 bridesmaids. We spent 2 days traveling around to dress places looking at options, and the bride and other bridesmaid only picked out dresses that didn't have plus sized options. There wasn't even an option to order additional sizes online. That's pretty sad. The bride just waved off my concerns, saying that I could get a dress made. I felt so shitty after that. To really dig it in, 2 weeks later she dropped me from being bridesmaid and asked me to be the photographer instead. I spent the wedding dashing about getting photos and she didn't even thank me. Instead, she complained that I didn't get any good family ones because she refused to do after wedding ceremony photos. Needless to say, I haven't spoken to her in years now. Wow, for her to drop you just like that and switch you into a photographer, which is downgrading, that is just horrible. There is no doubt that she probably hasn't even been paid, because I can just tell that this bride probably didn't really like her that much if she wanted to, you know, she wanted to switch her out for a photographer instead. Like, that's just cruel. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that you haven't spoken to her in years because of that, because that is one way to ruin a friendship. Weddings really do bring out the horrible side in people, and it's kind of sad to see like friendships get destructed over this. I was in my early 20s and definitely wasn't thinking when my close friend at the time asked me to be her maid of honor. I was delighted at first. I was and am very organized, so I took my assignment seriously and with enjoyment. I had us all meet at the mall to buy the same jewelry, shoes and etc. as requested by my friend. To make a long story short, the rehearsal day came and I found myself walking down the aisle with a groomsman who was not the best man. To my knowledge, the maid of honor and best man are supposed to walk together, so I asked my friend. She proceeded to tell me that she felt like I was taking over the whole wedding arrangement, so I was basically demoted. Clueless and speechless, I thought a maid of honor was supposed to help organize. She and the groom have long since divorced. Wait, whoa, wait. Wait. I love hearing bridezilla's weddings just not turn out how they expect it to be, but when it comes to the marriage and the divorce, that just tops it off for me. She's upset over the fact that the maid of honor is actually doing her job. She could have easily asked someone to be a maid of honor who was very shit at planning and organizing, but she decided to go for someone who, you know, was organized. But when the day came, I think it was like the rehearsal day, and she's upset over the fact that the maid of honor is trying to make a valid point. I don't get that mentality at all. For you to demote her right there and then. Needless to say, I don't think the marriage lasted that long. She kind of got calmer in a way. You know, she was promoted to be a wife, and now she's demoted to being a stranger.
Wait. What do you think you're doing right now? Do I see you watching my video but haven't subscribed yet? How about you hit the subscribe button and help me reach 1,000 subscribers? Also, don't forget to like the video. Thank you. Let's get back into it.
I was in a wedding where the bride planned 2 separate bachelorette weddings for herself and got mad at anyone who couldn't spend 2 3-day weekends at $500 each away from their husbands, kids and jobs. The week leading up to the wedding, the temperature for the big day was forecasted to be a high of 10 Fahrenheit. February wedding, northeast US. I don't know what 10 Fahrenheit is. It's probably like -2 in Celsius. I'm joking. It probably is, to be fair. The bride still insisted on outdoor photos without coats because we can't hide the dresses. Everyone, including the photographer, told her hell no. She pitched a fit when we refused to do more than one quick photo. Afterwards, she stopped talking to 75% of the bridal party because they refused to accommodate to her outrageous demands. To this day, she still complains about her bridesmaids ruined her wedding. Why are you still friends with her? Why are you still friends with that is just crazy. How on earth are you gonna make your bridesmaids, your groomsmen, whatever have you, stand in the freezing cold just to take photos? That's just not it. That's inhumane, if anything. This bride, I don't know, she must have been wearing thermal leggings under her dress if she really wanted to take those photos so bad. An acquaintance from high school was getting married and most of her bridesmaids had dropped out besides her sister and her best friend. That should have been a giant red flag in itself. At that point, we hadn't talked in a while, but she asked me because I was at the bottom of the barrel. I can see where this is going. I didn't exactly agree 100%, but we arranged to meet up and talk. She took one look at me and said, "Oh wow, if you're going to be a bridesmaid, we have to cover those tattoos. Take out some of those piercings, dye your hair and get you some contacts." How much is tattoo removal? My jaw hit the floor. I didn't think she was serious, but she was adamant that I look normal. I asked her if she was going to pay for the thousands of dollars for all of this and she was shocked and said no. I left. The wedding didn't even happen. She had been cheating on the groom for about a year. These are just getting better and better. What is it with these brides who just can't seem to keep it in their pants? Why are you going around sleeping and cheating on your husbands and your grooms? Why would you do that? I don't get it. There's so many questions. A friend asked me to be a maid of honor, then guilted me into throwing her a bridal shower and paying for the whole thing. It was not her first marriage, so no one else would do it. I coordinated her bachelorette party too. Then during the rehearsal, I found out that she had asked his sister to be her maid of honor too, so I wasn't anymore. She never talked to me about it or explained anything. She just acted like nothing happened at all, and I was shocked and left right after that all the pictures were done. I really want to know. I really want like a psychologist to examine what goes on through a bride's mind when it comes to like bridezillas like this, because obviously not all brides are going to be crazy. I just want to see what really goes on in the mind of a bridezilla. Like, how do they think this is acceptable to treat your friend wrong? There's got to be some study that suggests that they're not okay. They were never okay. I was the maid of honor for a friend a few years ago. I'm noticing a theme with this video. A lot of them seem to be best friends who were promoted to be maid of honors who were then demoted to being cool to the bride. She asked me to plan a bachelorette weekend for 16 people already, but initially said that she didn't want a bridal shower. Right, I mentioned a few of us would still like to do this for her, but we could keep it small, maybe 10 people at most, including the bridesmaids, her mom and her grandmother. A few weeks later, she sent me a list of 35 people to invite. 35 people to invite to a bloody bridal shower. I had to enlist the help of a friend to co-host, as I knew I wouldn't be able to afford the cost of hosting that many people, along with renting a space, catering, etc. It baffles me that the brides expect the maid of honor to pay for every single dime, every single thing that goes on for the wedding. Does the actual bride and groom pay for anything? They should put some money towards it, towards their dream wedding, assuming that they're not going to cheat. Who knows? My friend was getting married for the 4th time. 4th time. Okay. She never had a big wedding with her previous husbands, and this was the groom's first wedding, so she wanted it to be grand. However, they didn't have the money for that. She didn't hire anyone for her wedding. We bridesmaid did it all. We had to help make the floral arrangements, centerpieces and favors, and we had to set up the entire venue for the ceremony and reception. We also had to help cook, pan and set up all serving stations for the food. They didn't hire photographers photographer, so she wanted everyone to take photos all night and share them on their virtual wedding album. When I mentioned how absurd it was that she had us doing everything for her wedding, she said I hurt her feelings because it was her day and she shouldn't apologize for wanting it her way. Well, if you can't afford to have it your way, you probably shouldn't. Amen. Amen to that. If you can't afford to pay for your own wedding and expect everyone else to pay for every single thing, I've said this before, I literally said this like 5 seconds ago. If you can't pay for it, what is the point? You may as well just get married in a barnyard or married in your fucking toilet for all I care. That's as pretty as it's gonna go if someone's gonna pay for something. I think I've had enough. Quite literally, I've had enough of these brides. This series is to show you of how not to act when you are a bride and when it comes to like your wedding planning and your wedding day. Do not act like this. No matter how many times I can emphasize it, just don't act like this, because you are gonna lose friends, you're gonna lose family. To be fair, your husband might even cheat on you if he knows how you're acting. It's just brutal. You don't want that. Like, there's just no point. And don't make people pay for shit that you can't pay for, because if that's the case, then maybe you probably shouldn't have a wedding. Maybe save up a little. Just plan it out thoroughly. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please remember to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.